Good morning. It is Monday morning, it's about 8:30. So we're about halfway through this 2-week plan we had to just get the boat ready to sail. So sort of drop tools on all the domestic stuff and let's sort out all the engineering and all the bits and pieces that mean when this boat goes in the water, we can turn the engine over, we can get going, we can sail off, we're all safe. And I think it's been a really good week. Last week was really good, we got loads done. We're more than halfway through. We have got a slight delay with some of that stern gear stuff. Dan, Kelly's cousin's making up the new P-bracket for us, and he told me last week that they haven't got any of the right material in stock, but I'm not too worried. We got plenty of time still. So today, engine service, going to finish up with Andy. We've got all the rest of the parts we needed ordered last week. They've all delivered today, so we're going to crack on. He's going to come over in a couple of hours. We'll get that sorted. Quite excited about that. Once the engine's running, we can run up all the hydraulics, which means we can test the bow thruster. It means we can use the anchor winch as well, which also means therefore pulling on board all the anchor stuff. Fingers crossed. Literally just press go and it all works, but you never know, it's a boat. And then I'm going to keep messing around with the electrical compartment behind me, which is where the batteries and all the other bits are going to go. Anyway, watch this space, we're having a lot of fun. I'm absolutely exhausted, I've been here every day, so it's good. So we've just finished all our oil changes, filter changes. This is where the crossover comes between me and Andy, because Andy knows a huge amount about engines. However, I've got a tiny bit more, tiny bit more experience with marine, haven't I? So
I'll give you that.
For the first time, I've actually been the one answering the questions about the water cooling system.
And we'll see now if it works.
Yeah, see if it works. So what we're going to do, the water normally gets picked up from that seacock there and goes through this filter and then into the engine via the impeller, into the cooling circuit. Because we haven't got the sea below us, Andy's job is going to be to make sure that it keeps that filter topped up with the hose. And that's hopefully going to work. That's a positive start.
No power on the panel.
No?
No power to the panel at the moment.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure I know where to get that from. Right, let's try again.
Power to the panel. Right, I've done something wrong here, Andy. Yeah.
It looks so ready with that hose.
Yeah, I am.
Right, there's no sign of life whatsoever.
Hi Hugh, how you doing?
Not too bad, mate. You alright? My guess was if you knew I was phoning on FaceTime, you knew it was probably a technical electrical question. What do I need to set this to record? All I want to do is put it across a 12-volt battery and see if there's power in the battery.
Thanks for Matt there, for the advice. That is the settings we need for testing voltage. Red on the right, black in the middle. There, and it read 13.5. Right, we're going to keep exploring, trying to work out why we haven't got power on the dashboard. Right, I've just worked out what the problem is, why we haven't got power. Andy, I'm going to give you the camera, Andy. You can take it in front of you.
Okay.
And you can go and show everyone.
Oh, right. Okay. I think we should put that connector back on. It might start.
In fairness to me, it was Kelly that unplugged that cable.
Oh, no.
Andy's now defending Kelly. He was mocking her a sec there, he wasn't. Andy knows better than to mock Kelly.
Power. Oh! Got power?
Yeah.
Yesterday went pretty well. We got the engine up and running pretty much as I hoped it would, which is good because so often on a boat project, like, it just takes longer. If something goes wrong, so it takes longer. And we pretty much didn't have that at all. We just finished the service with the engine going. The only one thing was the half an hour we spent trying to work out why we couldn't get power onto the dashboard, and it was because a wire wasn't plugged in. So that's great. Engine worked, sounded really good, really healthy. You could hear how good it was, and not only that, I got to see the water cooling in action, got to see the coming out the main exhaust, but also we hadn't realised, I think I did know, I'd been told, but I'd forgotten, the water also comes out as the stern seal as well. So down the prop shaft there's a cooling system there which stops that heating up as the prop shaft spinning inside the bearing, and also stops water coming in because it pushes water out the other way. So yeah, all in all, really chuffed with that. Today, Andy's coming over this afternoon for another hour or so, and we're going to get the hydraulics working. But in the meantime, this morning, I am playing with batteries. I've been drawing on the side where each of the batteries go, so that I don't have to move around all the batteries, because they're pretty heavy. And I've been doing it lying on its back to make life a lot easier, because mounting these things when the rack's vertical is going to be most likely a two-man job. Here comes a moment of truth. This is the where if I had 6 batteries rather than 4, this would be where the top and the bottom would sit in the rack. So if I cut off above the 6th battery, the question is, I'm going to measure it now, will it fit in the space I want it to fit into? At the moment, it's 82 centimetres. And that would give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batteries in a minimum of 81 centimetres. Let's see if it's going to fit in the height I've got over here. Yay! I'm going to let you into a little secret. I already knew it'd fit in. I'd assumed, but I just wanted to double check, you know. Right, got a plan. Stick with it. Having finished the service yesterday, I am now going through all the parts I've got and making sure I've got spares for everything, because new Hugh is a better Hugh. It's an older, wiser Hugh. Make sure we have spares. And I'm just having a little play now because they sent me a new belt, and I wanted just to put the new belt up against the old belt and just check it was the same size. And in that process, I've got to get the cover off, the belt cover off, and in that process, I have done this.
What can you see right down there, about 5 foot, 6 foot below me?
One of the small issues with Esperant's engine room is access is quite hard. You're working from the engine from above, which has been a bit of a stretch the last few days. And this now added to the fact that my spanner is all the way down there. So Kelly, can I please have a magnet on a string? Can you get me a magnet on a string, please? I'd like that. Oh, I can maybe get it between my toes. Right. Thinking with my head. Oh. Lucky I did some stretches this morning. Yeah! Oh, it's greasy down here. So after that faff, I've been on my tummy, lying over the top of the engine, and this belt looks like the right belt. So the only other spares I need is I need another oil filter, the main diesel filter, and then some oil for the gearbox and some coolant. Then I will have a full set of spares for the entire engine. Got white grease, got the other type of grease, got oil for the bow thruster, we're good. And I've done it again. You see a little bolt down there? It's all the way down there. Wait, there it is. Andy's just draining the oil out of the bow thruster. Come up with a nice neat solution. That's brilliant, Andy. Very tidy. We're now having trouble topping it up again because it's got no breather. So it's just taking forever to the oil to go down here. Andy's gone back to his boat with the bottle of oil. He's got the saucepan out and he's heating it up on the hob. He's going to bring it back and try pouring heated oil in instead, because that should be much more slippery, thin, less viscous. Well, this saucepan full of oil.
Oh shit! I had to wash out the spaghetti first.
Did you?
Yeah.
I can feel the heat coming off it.
Oh god, that's hot.
It's not going to go melting our plastic pot, is it?
Well, I hope not.
I was going down loads quicker than before.
Is it?
Yeah. Riveting, isn't it?
We're like a pair of monkeys here. Someone's going to watch this and they're going to say, what are those idiots?
What are those idiots doing? So the bow thruster and anchor winch service are both done. So we're basically ready to go. We've got one more job to do, and that is to tidy up the anchor chain ready to get hauled in. As part of the test, we're going to bring the anchor in, and we are confident it's going to work straight away, so we're already ready. Andy's on inside job, so he's watching the anchor come in, and he's also making sure the engine's got enough water, so he's going to keep making sure the hose is topping up the water filter, and I'll be outside controlling the chain. So
I'll just shout stop, yeah?
Yeah, you just scream stop, yeah. Anchor's just about back in, which is great. Ended up becoming a 3-man job. Al, other boat neighbour, popped round exactly the right time as well, because we hadn't engaged the clutch on the hydraulic pump, and he was like, me and Andy were like, what's going on here? Couldn't work it out, and he immediately just had a look and went, that's not engaged. And so he knows about all this stuff. He's quite a clever bloke, Al, like, knows a lot of stuff. And then he ended up staying, and he kept the water level topped up on the engine, so Andy could help me with the anchor, which is great because it was much easier. It's a 3-man job. We just pulled the anchor most of the way up, and I've got a tiny bit left to go because it was just swinging around everywhere, and I thought I'd do the last bit manually on the thing. So let's go and do that now. Lovely.
I am back on board. It's my turn to do some jobs today. They're not exactly splash day jobs, but it's a job that I can do. I'm going to clear out the whole of the aft cabin, and there's like this really weird smell in there. It's horrible, and I don't know what it is. But 30th of this month, March, we don't have anywhere to live, so we're going to be sleeping in that back cabin. So we need to get on top of whatever is going on. Just realised how much I procrastinate. That's why Hugh works on the boat more than me, I think. That's all right. I've got all the ideas and all the intentions. I'll just get on, shall I? I'll just get on with it. Yeah, I'll get on with it. I've also found Hugh's secret stash of mini eggs. It's the universal way of opening a rubbish bag. I'm not sure how Hugh and I do it, but we've managed to keep picking up products that don't do what they say on the tin. So here is another product. I bought this, can you see? It's paint and varnish remover. The reason I bought it is because it's tough, but not toxic. It's an eco alternative, solvent-free, alkaline-free, no fumes, no toxins, no skin burns, no ventilation required. Too good to be true. So I bought this when I was doing the water tanks. That'll be a separate video. And I painted it all on. I left it a generous amount of time, an hour, and I expected to come back and the paint had all fallen off. Well, when I came back in, the paint was very much still attached to the water tanks. But what I discovered was that this, although it doesn't remove paint and varnish, it does remove all of the mold and the dirt, and it does it really effectively. So I'm going to use this inside the lockers now.
Quick update. I've decided all in there is going to get painted, so might as well paint up there at the same time as such a scrappy wall. Eventually we're going to paint all the top sides as well, but that's going to be a job for next year. But anyway, done that. So we're going to wait for that filling putty to go off now. We're going to go and have a play with the gen set. You didn't have the right camera angle a second ago, so Andy's now going to replicate for you, through acting, the medium of art, what it was like to taste diesel. Yeah. Good work. All right, we've got water out, we've got water in, we've got wires connected, about to connect the battery, we've got diesel in and out. So it's almost moment of truth time, isn't it? Let's go for it. Nailed it. Just had a knock on the boat. Ben's here. He sent me a message earlier on saying some big blue boxes have arrived. Got all our Victron gear in, which I'm really excited about. So we're going to go and load that up, bring it in the boat now, which is cool. And it's also a really nice time of arrival. We spent 2 hours with that generator, and we've got, no, it's not saying we've got nowhere. We've learned loads. Like, learned about how the fuses are inside the air intake, which is really cool. And like space saving thing. And anyway, it's an electrical problem, I'm pretty certain. So he said he'll have a quick look at that as well for us and see if we can get the generator fired up, as well as drop off all these boxes. So win, and the sun's out. Hello, this is Ben.
Hello.
Marine Electrical, and he's been helping us design, and he's going to help us install the electrical system on board Esperance, and he's turned up today with a few toys, which is pretty cool. Morning. I am knackered. I don't know how people like with real jobs do it, like the whole working all the time every day. Ben's coming in a second. We're going to mess with the generator again, see if we get going. I'm going to have to call it quits on the generator fairly soon because it doesn't really count as a floating necessity or moving on the boat necessity. It is literally just a toy at the moment. It's going to be a very useful thing in the future. Anyway, yeah, all that's painted behind me. So jobs today include putting the battery bank in, physically getting it in and getting it all ready for Ben to wire up, and also I had a really good chat to Ben yesterday and working out where all the components are going to go on the walls, like the inverter charger and the other bits and pieces. But anyway, he's going to be here in a moment. We'll look for the gen set and then we'll probably have a chat with him about things in the boat. Ben's tried some, what do you call it, electric magic? I think that's what it is, electrician's magic. We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Got that camera running?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Try again. You got it? It's a wizard.
Sounds really good.
It's a wizard.
Right, okay, ultimately, pumping fuel round, we're actually completely bypassing the inlet and the solenoid. So pumping fuel around the system is going round, but it's not actually going into the engine. So kind of pointed to a problem with the solenoid.
Ooh.
So relay K2 was mounted up here.
Yeah.
We swapped the relays over, the engine started, indicated that the relay itself is fine, which is okay. So then I checked for a voltage across the coil, got Hugh to start the engine, and there's no 12 volts to actually operate the relay. So at this point, the relay is not activating and it's not opening the fuel solenoid.
Excellent.
So, quick test to make sure I had continuity between the output of the switch side of the relay and the solenoid, and I did, so I was happy that that was good. Made a little bypass link to skip the relay, and ultimately she flashed up. However, we still have the problem of not having 12 volts on the relay from the start panel, but ultimately the engine does run, it works.
It's solvable.
Now it's the next problem.
There we go. Look at that. It's camera ready, Ben. Look at that. It was perfect. Like a presentation. We should be making a show. Cool. Brilliant, Ben. That's amazing. Right. Just had Lewmar on the phone, which was nice. They're going to do the thing where they send out a spare part before they accept that the whole thing's faulty. That's going to arrive next week for me to fit a new hinge, but in the meantime I'm going to preempt them by doing what I think the problem is and just covering up where I think it's coming from.
This is this sort of blue tack of marine sealants. So basically the question is the leak coming through this seal or is it coming through the hinge?
Right, I'm going to push that down. And then when it rains overnight, we shall see. Can you hear that noise? It's raining. Time to see if my temporary repair with the butyl tape has worked. That would be a yes. Which means the leak is coming from the seal between the frame and the glass or the perspex, which means the hatch needs to go back. Ben's been working away in our electrical compartment / cupboard. It's very dark because he's had to turn off all the 12 volts. Look at that. A new cupboard already. Everything is connected. And he's you've even made notes, haven't you, Ben? It's very impressive.
You
Look at that.
don't actually need to make too many notes because just know where most of it goes, luckily.
Oh, that's cool.
And everything's taped up, labelled where it's come from, so
Wicked.
just the fun of putting it back together in a minute.
Yeah, nice and tidy. Exciting. Before Ben can connect all our new toys up and do his like Wizardry thing, I get to do something I love. A bit of tessellation. These inverters are pretty chunky, so I've made some templates. I'm messing around with templates. A couple of bits haven't arrived yet, so I've made templates for those as well. This is also one of the things, like, it's a real advantage of a DIYer whose time is sort of free. Like, any yard, in their common sense, they would have said, no, you can't fit 6 batteries there, it can't be done. Easy, so they've measured the case, worked it out, said no, room for 4, not room for 6. But I actually got my tape measure out, and I know there is actually technically room for 6 batteries there. So I've made it happen, even though it's taken probably about 3-4 extra days worth of labour, which is why the yard wouldn't do it. I'm not interested. I'm absolutely nailing it, optimising the space, getting everything squeezed in, so we can get the most out of Esperance's cavernous holes. It's the end of the week, another big long week, getting loads of stuff done. This place is a bit of a mess, but it's cool. Like, I know where all the Victron gear, all the electric stuff's going now. And I've nearly finished my electrical compartment over here. Like, we've achieved loads. All the engineering, all the engines working, all that stuff. it's been a good week. It's been really interesting as well because Ben did his first full proper day yesterday, and I'm like breathing a big sigh of relief. I found Ben online via forums. It was sort of recommended. Got chatting and sort of quite quickly liked the way he worked. He didn't leap in and go, definitely do this straight away. You asked him a question, he thought about it and went, and then came back to you. And every time he's done that, he's been bob on. I've had a bit of a mixed relationship with getting tradesmen in the past. You know, it's been a bit hit and miss. Both the last boats, the first boat, the boat builders were a nightmare, basically over-promising and under-delivering, and it was just delays after delays after delays, and basically they called it lies, I think, to be honest. I got there in the end and it was a good quality boat. Second boat, I had a chap come in to make us superstructure stuff like the wheelhouse and windows, and he was just a nightmare, and that would have ended up in court except for the fact I walked away, and it was just like, life's too short. When I've got here as well, it's been really hit and miss. It's been, some of the guys have been fantastic, but I mean, there's one lad in the yard who doesn't work anymore. I spent months just trying to get him on the bloody boat. I wasted so much energy and time going around, knocking on his workshop, chatting to him. And there's other lads here, they're all nice guys, and they're lovely, and this yard's got so much going for it, but they're all busy. And it's a big part of why we've taken so long and why I've ended up doing so much myself. But the flip side is we've also saved money on those skills, and also I've learned so much. So anyway, when it comes around to Ben now, I'm like, got this sort of real nervousness. I've always been like, I've been damaged in the past, and I'm like, Ben yesterday, in one day, he's completely gutted that entire electrical cupboard. Everything's labelled up, everything's wired up, and then he's going to spend another day putting it all back together again. That's like 2 days work, bish bosh, done. Like, say I charge myself at a fifth of what he's charging, I wouldn't get that done in 10 days. Not to the same standard, with the same skills and all the proper labelling up and the connections and all the same bits and pieces. So he's 100% worth it. And you know what? He said he was going to come, and he turned up early, got cracked on. You know, I'm chuffed to bits, to be honest. I'm actually chuffed to bits. I'm always feeling sort of revigorated in getting people to come and help you again. I'm feeling really positive about Ben. So yeah, what's it called? Marine Electric. I'll put a link. He's really good. Recommend him. Anyway, it's Saturday, last day of the week. Tomorrow I've got the kids all day. I'm gonna go see them. And then next week's a short week because Kelly's doing a lot of gigs, so I've got to step in on the kids, which is fine. I've got to sort this mess out. I've got just sort of 7 hours or so now. I'm going to see if I can get most of the electrical department at least, and know where everything's going to go, sort of stowed away a little bit. This site all clear, and reset again, ready for a new week. And I may even fix my staircase.